I have 3 home buyer tips that I want to share with you. And these are tips specifically about the process of searching for the home. It's nothing to do with the process of the real estate transaction, just talking about the process of searching for a home and the best ways to go about it. The very first thing you want to do is get clear about the location. Where exactly is it that you want to live? What type of neighborhood? Do you want to live in a gated community? Do you want to live rural where you don't have neighbors close by? Do you want to live somewhere that has a community pool, community events? Do you want to live in an area that's just neighborhoods that are near each other with no set subdivision, so to speak of? You want to think about how close things are that are important to you. What type of amenities do you want by you? Is it important that commute time to your grocery, to restaurants, to basic shopping, those types of things? Commute time, figure out what's good for you as far as that. And of course, commute time as far as any schools or jobs that you're going to be driving to. Something that I like to use, and it doesn't work on every house because Google can't be everywhere, but Google Street View can be very helpful when looking at a neighborhood that you're not really familiar with, or if you're purchasing from another state and you're going to be relocating here, maybe you're PCSing here, that Google Street View can be really helpful. You can look at that Google Street View and you can tour around the neighborhood. You can look at the houses next door. You can go even down the street, several streets. You can go for quite a while, actually, depending on your patience level. You can really do some research using that Google Street View and check out an entire neighborhood. This is really handy when you're relocating to this area and you can't be here in person. The second thing you want to do is think about the type of home that you want to live in. And this could also come in a little bit hand in hand with the location. Maybe you want to live in a townhouse. That would be different than a single family house. So that would be a different type of location as well. But you want to get clear about what type of home you want to live in. Do you want to live in a townhouse? Do you want to live in a single family home? Do you prefer a 1 or 2-story home? Does it matter to you if it's siding or brick? And just a side note on that, brick homes are more expensive to insure, just so you know. Do you have a certain layout that you prefer? Are you someone who prefers an open floor plan where you can be in the kitchen with an island and you're overlooking the living space and a separate dining area right there and you see the entire living space? Or do you prefer more divided where rooms have their own designated spaces as opposed to an open floor plan? Would a galley style kitchen where it's in a long line work for you? Or would you prefer a kitchen that's more square or open entirely? Do you need 2 full baths? Or would you be able to work with and be satisfied with a 1.5 bath? Are you someone who likes a big yard and you're okay with doing a lot of yard maintenance? Or do you want something that's smaller or very simple? Maybe a garden home or a patio home that has a very small backyard? Or are you into that big backyard with lots of landscaping and lots to do outside in the yard? Get clear and decide ahead of time the things that you need and want and the things that are important to you and stick to it. Decide ahead of time on all of these things and get clear about what you want so you're not viewing homes that really won't work for you. Stick to the standards that you've set ahead of time because we already know that that's what you really want. All right, and the third thing you're going to want to do now that you've gotten clear about the house and you're starting to look online at houses, you're going to be seeing and viewing houses of all sorts and kinds. You're going to want to narrow down your search based on your criteria that you've set ahead of time. As you do that, you want to have an ultimate goal of narrowing that down to 3 houses to view in person. If you can get it down to 1 or 2 instead of 3, even better. But top 3 is what I like to recommend. If you see more than that, it really starts to get jumbled in your mind. There's too much going on, and it can be more confusing to you and less helpful. I know a lot of times people want to see all the options, but we can really narrow it down when we're clear about what we want and we don't deter from our standards that we've already set ahead of time. If we've already determined that a galley-style kitchen is not something that we want to have, but we see a house that fits some other boxes and maybe it could work, but we see several others that have an open kitchen and not a galley kitchen, you're going to want to take that galley kitchen home and set it aside for another time. Pick that top 3 You can always come back to those others. If the very best top 3 that you've narrowed it down to, for some reason aren't the one for you, you can always come back to the others. If you have a list of 6 houses that you want to see, I can guarantee you that there's to be some way that you can narrow that down to 3. That way you're looking at your very best options. If you can't decide on that based on just the pictures alone, think about the location. Go back to that. Think about the yard. Are they checking all the boxes? Then take and compare each home to the next. If I was looking at this house and this house, I could only buy one of these 2 houses. Which house would I pick? I have to decide on which house. Well, I'm going to pick this house. Okay, well, then set this house aside for now. Now compare this house to one of the others in your top 6 that you had previously. Now you got a 5. Take one of those houses and compare it to this house now. If you could only buy one of these 2 houses, they were the only ones available, which one would you buy? You decide you want to buy this one. Now we're going to get rid of this house, set it aside for a later time. Now we got 4. We're pulling, we're comparing again, doing the same thing. That's how you narrow it down. You can always come back to the others, but the very first thing you want to do is see those top 3 that are really checking your boxes and getting you excited, and those are the ones you want to see first. You want to be able to get in, spend some time looking at the ones that are your best option and have everything that you want, so that you can get in there and get a bid in on that as quickly as possible. What you don't want to do is spend your time looking at houses that maybe sort of could kind of work. Maybe it could work, maybe it wouldn't work, but I just want to see it anyway. Don't do that. Pick your top 3. Those are going to be your very best options. If you've enjoyed this video and learned anything at all, be sure to check out my playlist made especially for home buyers. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any other upcoming videos. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.